Greetings, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's raining, it's pouring. I am Monster to Mermaid, and this is Minecraft, and it is an alternative Minecolonies play. I do not play the way the game is supposed to be played. I never really have. So you're welcome to join me on this little adventure. We are in the Green Town. So I have two towns on the continent of Thalassia. The last continent that we were on, or that we were near, was the Skeleton Continent because, and that's where Emny Island and where Seabridge, because a lot of the mermaid nation is located in the ocean, and that ocean is located really strongly in Skeleton Country. So we decided when we moved when we were given other people who needed to be rescued, and that's usually what happens. A boat crashes and the people are rescued, and there's always a group who don't want to go home, and that group who want to continue on their journey that they were on, and that group of people usually is accompanied by an ambassador. And so I have two places like that, and Prasinos. This is Prasinos, and it is one of those places. The sun is, it's only 10 o'clock in the morning here, 11 o'clock in the morning in this world, so it's going to rain all day. So why don't we go in for just a moment? I'm going to go up. Hello, hi. So I'm going over to the new project. The Guardians are coming, and when they come, the magical people who want to guard over the mystic groves that are in this area, if you build it, they will come. So we are in the process of building on the overlook so that they can oversee the mystic groves and the maple groves and even Prasinos. Zaf, Yasu, Zaf, how are you? Posise, how are you doing? It's nice to see you. And in chat. It's nice to see you even on Instagram every once in a while when I'm able to see you. This is a level 4 of this building. She is, or should be, in the process of updating her housing, but yes, she is, because the ladder keeps disappearing. So she is updating the housing, and except she's not doing anything right now because it is pouring down rain, and she is a level 4. Level 5s can work during rainstorms, but level 4s don't really do that. Seems like she has what she needs for this, and we will keep on watching. So we were talking about a couple things. Zaf, I had said that when you came back, because you weren't here for some of it, when you came back, that I would give Adam his boat. But the last time we were here and you were talking about, was Adam going to fish in this lake? And that's a good question. That would be a really interesting thing, to have a fisher over here and to maybe stick it in under this builder. And I think I might want to experiment with trying to do that while all the other builders are working on housing. So Emery is working on her house. This is going to be a little pod, a little balloon pod that's going to be completely closed in at level 3, which is going to be quite lovely. And Emery's old wagon has been taken over by Elise, and Elise is actually, there she is. Elise is working
So what'll it be for you?
on a new building, and she needs spruce plank, which is going to be delivered. We were desperate for housing, and the people of the town who Pierce trusts, did I say Pierce? Yeah, Tucker, who Tucker trusts, came to him and said, look, there's all this farmland. You can at least use some of it for housing. And so we're going to put up apartments right on this corner of the farmland. There's still plenty of farmland to have an extra 2 fields for the plantation, and an extra 2 fields for the farm, and still have room for this apartment building. So she's going to work on this apartment. We already have 2 people moved in, and that is Alamar, who was living with Vega, and Alejandro, who was living with Adam. Alamar was living with Vega because Tucker was taking over a guard tower so that there would be enough housing for her. And so Tucker is in this guard tower for a couple of days, sleeping it out like a bachelor. And then in a little bit, he will be able to move into his new home with Vega, and that's why Alamar is living in the apartments. This is their new home. Now, they can move in now, and I think I would like to do that, but in order to do that, Tucker would have to not be in the guard tower anymore, and I think that's a good thing. Tucker's the one who started the town, and that has been the story all along. And he, when he was doing building, he actually got to build something for, there's a druid, got to build Vega's first farm, and that's how he met her. He built her first farm, and they liked each other, and they became partners. And so he and Vega have been living, and I'll show you where they, oh no, living, let me put Tucker here. So they're living in the downstairs of their house right now, while Postco is working on expanding the house. When the house is expanded, it will look like, no, it won't look like this.
How are you?
This is Tessa, and Tessa living with Lily. Lily is our beekeeper, and Tessa is our new flower shop owner. And she's actually more a horticulturalist. We'll see if she actually wants to have a shop. I'm going to come down here. I should carry a lantern when I'm doing this. But because it's raining so badly, I think we're going to actually take the night off and come in here. This is my little place right here. And come in and fall into bed and go to sleep. And yeah. So Zaf, I've been thinking about something. I think I'm going to see, I might only do an hour of this show, this town. I've been thinking of doing an hour and a half, and maybe an hour and a half of the 2 towns. So instead of having just one town on Twitch, I think I'm going to have the Twitch town be on Twitch and on YouTube, and the YouTube town be on Twitch and on YouTube. What do you think about that? You have been watching me the longest of anyone who is watching me right now, and so I am asking you, how would you feel if I was splitting the stream? So one part of the stream would be one town and one part would be another. Let me go into here. Bega's not in here anymore. No one's in here, as a matter of fact. This is in the middle of the road. This is a level 2 residence, and it cannot be upgraded because we modified it, but it can be picked up. And so I'm picking it up, and I'm going to use this to make a new house as soon as we get some work done. But in the meantime, I'm going to do the mermaid thing. Let's come here. Let's come here. Let's go to here. Oh, let's go here. Nope. I still need that. Nope. There we go. And let's go to survival. And the reason I'm going to survival is because I'm going to remove this myself. There isn't going to be anything built here. This is actually on the road, this house. And so we're going to take a minute or two and just take this house down. We can start with the door, and we can just go in and get all of these pieces and begin to take them down. I think I need a pickaxe for that. Let's see. I think a pickaxe will be faster. There we go. So while I'm talking about this, good idea in different days. Is your opinion on different days? Okay. That's an idea. I could do it on different days. With a break of 5 minutes for you on the same day. Because I'm only doing an hour and a half each for each one, I think it'll be okay. I think I'll be pretty okay, but I appreciate you being concerned about me. And remember when we put these in, that was so long ago, when we needed to have this extra part right here because it was so close to this area. This is really interesting. Oops, I just hit something. Oh, construction tape for the new shop. Postco is working on housing, but technically he's not supposed to be. But he's working on housing for Tucker, and that's why he's doing it now. In actuality, he's going to work on this dye shop in just a minute. Mr. Villager, hello, hello, hello. But right now, I think Postco is actually working on a crusher shop. Let's go up here. I'm just going to look and see. ¿Cómo está vos, Mr. Villager? Yes. So this is where Dondanas is working on this. And let me see something for a minute. I don't hear him or see him, which probably means that he needs something. So I'm going to look for a moment. How are you? And hold on. Okay. And I'm going to come up here and look, and let's see what we've got. Here we go. Dondanas is saying that he needs everything. So he's waiting for a bunch of stuff, and most of that stuff has to do with the with our jail cat, who is our stone smelter, and she was smelting. She was actually smelting some stone. This coal is for her to have so that she can smelt stone. in here, and she's got some coal already, but Isa gave her some more. And then over here, Spelong is going to work on making the stone into different pieces. So 2 colonies. Yes. So I'm going to begin to do both colonies on both streams. So instead of having one colony on YouTube and one colony on Twitch, I'm actually going to have both colonies on both streams. And I'm going to try it as an experiment today, and you guys can tell me how it is. So we're going to spend an hour and a half here in Prasinos, and then we're going to Rosa Ouro and spend some time there. And part of the reason is because I like both of them so much, and I want to share both of them with everyone. Different days or the same day, half time. Same day, half time is the experiment today. If you guys don't like it, then I might just go ahead and do different days. But let's see. There's the music. The music is starting. So I'm just taking a moment to talk about what else is going on. So our builders are working on housing. All of them except Dondanas are working on housing right now. Emery is working on her balloon pod that she is going to live in while she is working on the Guardians location at the Overlook Mountain. And Elise, who took over Emery's wagon, is actually working on the new apartment building across from, that's kind of nicely located between the industrial area and the farm area. And we'll see, because after she gets done with that building, she's actually going to start working on some housing, for some actual housing in that area. So some people are going to actually have houses, just like Tucker and Vega are going to have a house when Postcode is done. Now Elise is supposed to be doing housing, and Postco and Dondanas are working on the buildings that we need. We still don't have a library, and I know I set a library in the hills, but my setting that library in the hills is what brought the Guardians, the magical Guardians, out of hiding, and they were saying it's too close to the Mystic Groves. It's dangerous. We don't want the Mystic Groves to be damaged in any kind of way. And so that is what happened. And so we're going to put the library someplace else. And we also need the school. Whoops. Hi, Tank. We also need the school, and we need, so that means we need a library in order to get a school. That is how that works. So I'm taking away the platform that this building was on, because it's made completely out of precious spruce, and we're going to need a lot of wood. So much wood that we might actually have to have another person doing it. Jace doesn't think so. Jace was saying, no, I can handle it. That's what he's saying. It's getting dark. Let me put a light here for just a second so I can take all of this away at one time. And then I will come back as a mermaid and we'll fill this in. The only reason why I'm doing this way is because we're not going to build anything here. This is the road. and I don't want to lose all of this. This is actually their stuff. Mixasa, you didn't pay. Salut, Mixasa. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, Mixasa, you missed what I was saying, but that's actually okay. I am actually going to split my time between the two cities, and that I have on Thalassia, and that is what I am going to do. So today is an experiment. You and Zaf and Mr. Villager are probably the people that good. It's good are the people who watch the most, and so I want to see how you feel. You feel about my doing that. Let me go back upstairs for a second. And this is going to be kind of fun. So why am I doing it? Because, truthfully, because I love both stories. And I feel like one story, I feel like the stories, I don't want it to be just a story on one and not on the other, and that's why. So now we've got a hole in the road right here. We don't need anything here. There used to be a way down here, a way down to water that's underneath, but I'm not interested in that right now, and so I'm just going to fill this in. And so what's happening? Right now, our builders are working on housing, including Emery working on the pod, the balloon pod, that is going to be her house. And we haven't had any problem with the balloon pod or any of the cliff housing or cliff buildings. And what I mean by problem is we haven't had any problem with anyone falling off. Now, one of the reasons might be because there is actually some, what are you doing here? Look at that cute little tree. There is actually water, the lake, and that lake actually needs a name, yeah. There's a lake below Overlook Mountain, and that lake actually is good for protecting the builder right now, because it does mean that if they fall off, they fall in the water. And I think last time I mentioned, Mixasa, that I actually saw the builder walk off the edge deliberately to fall into the water to get the shortcut so that she could get home by swimming across the lake and then climbing up on the bank and then being able to go home that way. It was very cute and really interesting as a thing that she didn't get hurt and the like. Now look at the space we have here. So the road is here. This is the road right here. And yes, it is. It's the road right here. That was Kawabata who was laughing. And then this road where this construction tape is, and I think I don't want it on the road. This road is, let's see if we can do this pretty easily, nice and carefully with this piece. Why don't I just use this rather than using the dirt? So there's our roads. So when we were looking at stuff, let's come up here. What we noticed was, and I'll talk about this again, that there's more than enough room. for us to have this. This is the antique plantation. For it to have two fields in this area, and for the farm to have two fields in this area. And the way that it could work is that the sugar farm, there's a small sugar farm piece that we could put on the other side of this farm building if we wanted to, and that would be nice. There's also other big farm pieces that we can put in that'll fit. And the reason I'm talking about that is I'm still not entirely sure I'm not going to put another house in this area. So we have this house here, which is Crejum and Cameron, and they live together. They're partners. They love animals. They love their animal farm, and they take really good care of the animals. And so they decided to live together, and they live in the house that is right here. This is a level 2 medieval oak house, and this house is not going to get any bigger, because if it does, it actually removes this barn. And we have both of these, we have both of the farmers in the barn. So this is the steampunk cowhand, level 2. We can bring it up. And this is the shepherd, level 2, steampunk also. Now both of those can be brought up to the level, and they'll be fine. So that's something that we can have Postco or Dondanas do when we have enough housing. But housing is the problem right now, and I might have to help them with it. I'm going to go down here and see what in the world Postco is talking about. So let's come down here and see what he wants. And then we'll look at the other area. Let's see. And so you need bread, huh? Lanterns, we don't have a mechanic yet, and that is something we're going to go look at. We don't have buttons because we don't have a mechanic. An iron trapdoor we might be able to get. A block of copper we're not going to. And an item frame we should be able to get. We don't have a bakery, so we don't have a lot of things. So we still have a lot to do in this area, and that is what we're looking at. The item frame, I'm going to come over, and the iron trapdoor, I'm going to go over to Kawabata and see what it is that she's doing. I just saw that. Look at that. There's a delivery. Now we should have enough leather from Adam's fishing. We're not killing the animals right at this particular time, but let's look here and let's see if she knows how to make a frame. This is going to be quick. And she does not, so we're going to teach the recipe. Framed frame, there it is. Let's teach this, and there it is. So that's for her to make. Let's see how many she has left. She still has a good amount, so we still have room to put some things in. And let's go over to iron. So that would be our blacksmith, who is True. Yes, that's his name. His name is True. True it is. We're going over to and look at True for a minute and see if he knows how to make a trap door. So we'll come down here. We couldn't remove them, so we disabled the netherite pieces just so that they wouldn't keep waiting for netherite. And let's come down here. Did I see a trapdoor? I did not. All right, so let's teach a recipe. Let's teach trap, iron trap. And we should see it right here. This is the one that we need. That doesn't look like it, does it? Oh, it is. I see it. So there it is. And those were the two things that Postco needed. Let's come around here for a minute. Joey is standing here. Let me see what Joey needs. Joey took over for Cresium because Cresium wanted to return to his to what his family had done for years and what he thought he didn't want to do, and that was farm. And Joey was fine with that because he wanted to mine. And I believe he just got a delivery. Yes, Tank. Tank is here. Joey's not asking for anything, so Tank is bringing him something. Now, we cut through Thaler's mod design here so that they could get to this little room. This little room was actually separate. And then we added a back door here because so that they could go through to the crafters who are over in this area, so that he wouldn't be cut off. He could actually make deliveries to them, and that was an addition that we did. Right here, let's see what's going on with Dondanas. Let's look. He needs andesite and diorite. We should have some. And racks. And racks are made. I did not see a rack. Did I? Let's see if I did. Let's come over here and see if the blacksmith can make a rack for a second. Yes, he can. Okay, good. So he is just waiting for a bunch. Oh, it's almost a full moon. Look at that. There's just a sliver missing from that moon. That just looks beautiful. All right, so that's Dondanas, and Dondanas is up here. Well, it's not fun in the nighttime, so let me come over and sleep. We'll go back over and look at Dondanas in the daytime. Why do I not make it permanent day? Because the people don't like it. They don't like it when the magicians come in and do stuff like that. So they start complaining that they haven't gotten any sleep. So let's come over here and we'll go to where Dondanas is right here. And this is the new crusher. This is going to be oh, he found something. Let's turn on the light. Let's look at some light here. Do I have some in my hand? I don't. Ooh, interesting. I don't have any light. Let me see if I have some in a bag. I have a ton, and I only need one. Let's put that there, and this is what he found. Look at that. Let's take a pickaxe and let's pick that up for a moment. So this is going to be underground, so we are using the cavern style. You don't like magicians? What do you not like about them? What is it that bothers you? Did you have a bad childhood experience with magicians? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there we are. We have 5 pieces of coal. Coal ore. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll put these in the pack. And let's go ahead and take this. Did something happen when you were a kid that made you not like them? And I'm going to come out. So that's what Dondanas is doing. He's waiting for some pieces of things. You're not sure? You just have always felt that way? Have you ever seen any live magicians? Have you ever seen any? It's very hard nowadays. There's so much, because of YouTube and TikTok and all of those, you don't see that many live shows anymore, unless you're like in a casino town like Vegas or something like that. You didn't see any when you were a kid that you remember? Okay. I mean, they can be scary. My first experience of a magician or a wizard was Fantasia, Disney movie Fantasia, when I was a kid. The Sorcerer's Apprentice. That was one of my favorite pieces. Maybe one day. And there she is. So there's Emery in her house. And she is not at her place. So let me see what's going on here. She's probably waiting. No, she's not. Interesting. What's happening for her? I know what's happening. So I've made a mistake here. I put this too close. And I think what happens is, because it's so close, when she works on one piece, it takes that away. It takes away the stairs down. I'm hoping that's what it is.
Need something?
What's going on with you? Aha. Let's cancel that. She doesn't need those anymore. So we'll cancel that. And let's see what happens now. I'm going to call her to here and see what we can do. Recall. There she is. Okay. I wasn't sure whether she was sick. She might have been. But she's not.
A problem?
No, you tell me. You tell me, Emery, what's going on. Magicians and clowns. Ah, clowns. And the first clowns I remember from my childhood was Red Skelton. I think Red Skelton even before the clown, the Banana Man, who was a clown that appeared on Captain Kangaroo when I was a kid. Yes, I'm dating myself. And that was actually quite fun. Let's see what's happening. You see that? Let's look and see.
It's a fine afternoon.
Let's look. She doesn't have a request. She has tools, and it's not saying any required. She's not working. That's what's happening. Okay, I get it now. So let's come up here. I might have stopped it. I might have stopped it. The builder is Emery. I think I stopped Elise from working on it, and I forgot to get Emery to start working on it. That is what happened. Yeah. So I called Elise off because we had so little housing. So little housing that it was beginning to interfere with our ability to invite people to join the town, and we desperately need some more people. So, and I don't want to have any children yet. We will have children at some point, but not right now. And the Banana Man was a clown that used to be able, he came, he was wearing this big, huge, beautiful coat, just a big, monstrous coat he had on. And he would start pulling bananas out of this coat, and he didn't have any place to put them, so he started making this little train to put the bananas in. And he kept making a train, and probably with about 3 cars and an engine. And when he was done, he actually drove the train away. It was a little cardboard train, but he got in and drove it away. And there is no way that he could have pulled all of that. Well, as a kid, that's what you thought. There's no way he could have pulled all of that out of his coat, no matter how big it was. He was wearing it. And so it was always sort of a fun thing, and that made clowns okay. I didn't have any scary experiences of clowns, and I would not watch It, the clown movie, and I don't watch scary clown movies, except clowns. Vincentius, what was the name of that? What was the name of that movie with this? Was it called Space Clowns?
Killer Clowns from Outer
Killer
Space.
Clowns from Outer Space. Oh my goodness. I forgot about that. Now I did see that. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Classic.
Oh my gosh, that is a classic scary movie. And
Not even nominated.
hmm?
Not even nominated that year.
Vincentius
Travesty.
Primus, everyone. He's saying it wasn't even nominated that year. Oh, the movie It is a horror movie, yes, and that's why I will never see it. But I did see Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and I think I've mentioned in the past that I have a tendency to be able to watch things that are scary if they're in outer space, if they have anything to do with space, the final frontier. If it's a normal movie where they're on this planet Earth and they're just scary, then you've lost me. So, yes. Okay, so now she's asking for stuff, and she needs things that we don't have. We do have a flower shop, so she can get the allium. Kawabata can make the barrel, but we don't have we don't have a dye shop yet, so we don't have the color blue. So that has to be imported. A cauldron. I know that True hasn't been asked to make a cauldron yet. So the chest, the composter, we don't have a mechanic. We're working on that. The bed has cyan on it. The mechanic needs to make buttons, and everything else. I'll have to check the diorite panels, and I'll have to check on the fancy doors. Look how many different fancy doors we have. So we'll go over and check on that. Yeah, we have to have our potterer, Jail Cat, actually make a flower pot. We do have, or we should have, clay, and we can do that. Framed glass, that's not happening. We don't have a glass person yet, and I have to find out why we don't. Framed red wool, that's not going to happen. It's red. Framed shroom lights, they have to be imported. And what's in this spruce? Orange wool. So this, we don't have any colors yet, so we'll have to do that. And the copper from the mechanic, that's copper from the mechanic. And the glass shop, and green. Now we should be able to get green pretty soon, because we do have a plantation. The grindstone we'll get someone to make. Bega can make hay bales. We know that Kawabata can make frames. And the lantern, let's see, the lantern needs a mechanic. That's gray. That's glass. That's the mechanic. The loom, did we figure out that a loom had to be made by a Fletcher, right? So we can ask Alamar to make that, and that should be good. And let's see what else we can see. Yeah, we're going to have to check on those fancies, but orange, we're not going to get. Polished deep slate. I'm going to say no for right now, that has to be imported for a little bit. This is all red, and we'll have to import those. And then a mechanic, we're working on it. Warped stairs. Anything from the nether we are importing right now, and there is yellow. There we go. All right, let's go see about those fancy doors. It is nighttime, and she is actually sleeping here. She has moved in. She wanted to move in. She loves this area. Emery is ecstatic that she is going to work on the Guardians project and work on this Overlook Mountain and put things in. So Horizon is a space horror movie. Yeah, it is, Horizon. I think I might have seen that. I think I might have. I might have seen that. I'm going to see if I can get his attention.
Yes.
Didn't we watch Horizon together?
Horizon?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? I remember seeing a space horror film, but I don't remember.
Event Horizon. I think we actually saw Event Horizon in the theater.
That's right. We saw Event Horizon in the theater, but I haven't seen Horizon. But yeah, let's go here. I'm going to go to sleep, and then we'll go and visit our crafters and see about some things. Come see about me. And here we are. It is a bright sunny day. Let's go to Kawabata first, because she's got all those interesting doors. So let's see if any of them she can make. So we're here, and here is Emery. Let's see, the postcode, Emery. So we're bringing Emery's down. The birds are quite loud. So let's come to here, and let's look at the doors. Where are they? Let's see. I passed them, I think. Dark oak plank panel, we know she can do. Spruce slab, spruce fence. The loom. Yeah, I'm not going to have her do it. I'll have the Fletcher do it. I'll have Alamar do it. So where were those doors? There they are. Okay, this it takes orange wool. So we'll have to, and this takes yellow, and that takes red. I should have looked at that before I came down here, because we don't have those colors. We don't have any colors yet. So we are going to have to give her those. We need another courier, and we have space for another courier. The warehouse is a level 3, and look at Trudy! Yay, Trudy! Hi! She just brought stuff. And let's come here. Let's come to here. So the one thing that she's not going to get are these doors. They all have wool. And so we'll give them to her colored wool. If they were white wool, we could do that. We've got plenty of that. And the music is changing again. But yes, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I did see that movie. Oh my goodness. My goodness. And yes, Horizon is a space horror. Firefly actually had a really cool episode one time that was really scary. And of course, Firefly, because they had the oh shoot, what were they called? The Reavers. When the Reavers were in the show, oh, it was so scary. It was so scary and fun, because they were terrifying, the Reavers in that. the action movies a bit not like. Yeah. Yeah. What do I need? Ah, I know. I need Spellog, and I need especially Jailcat. And so let's look here and let's get something. Settings, smelting recipes. Can she smelt brick yet? Let's have her smelt brick. Okay. And let's get brick. So there's brick. And done. Let's have her smelt. Okay. That she can do. And I think she needed to smelt something else. But I think right now that's going to be it, the stone smeltery. Let me see what she can make. That is it. Yep, that's it. So let's come over here and let's go to the stonemason and let's look for, no, let's look for two things here. Crafting, teach recipe, pottery. Let's teach pottery, flower, and there's a flower pot. And now she can make those. And Spellog. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Spellog. It says he identifies male, but I keep referring to him as she. I really do. Hold on a second. It's shame on me. That's actually rude. I mean, if Spellog identifies male, then I should be calling him he. You know a thriller I can see? Nefarious.
Just a second. Little something.
Okay.
Little two things. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Zaf is saying I can see nefarious.
In respect to
It's a horror film.
nefarious.
Do you know that film?
You do not know that film.
I'm not sure I do either. Let's come here and let's look. The cauldron. Oh, yes. Let's come up here and let's come to him and let's look and see. Have we been importing them? Yes, we have.
Okay.
C-A-U-L.
Watch that.
What is it about?
On the day of his scheduled execution, a convicted serial killer gets a psychiatric evaluation during which he claims he is a demon and further claims that before their time is over, the psychiatrist will commit 3 murders of his own.
Ooh. Ooh. Vincentius Primus says he will watch that. And that should be interesting. The conversation is all about tricky. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. Okay, let's see here. I just looked at a cauldron and that was needed. Chains I know he can make. And diorite panels, that's what it was. Let's come over here and just look at custom panels for a minute. These are andesite panels and no diorite panels. So let's start with diorite. Diorite panels, and let's do that. And let's teach that. And so we've taught that. Let me look and see what kind of panels these are. This is diorite and this is diorite. So it's not polished, which is what I was looking for. Grindstone, and I think that is the carpenter, but we'll see for a minute. I think that is the carpenter who makes the grindstone. I'm going to come over and look at 2 things. Let's go over to Alamar right here and let's look at some things that she should be able to make. And yeah, I know. It is tricky. It is a tricky thing in regards to uh, pronouns, to what to call people. It is. Let's look here and let me see. These are wool things that she can make, and crafting. Let's teach a loom because I'm almost positive that it's her, that she can make it. I'm just going to need a piece of wood. That is not precious. There we go. And it says no. Oh, I should have looked. It says it's the Fletcher. Hold on a minute. Let me see how many things she has here. Let's look at her recipes. Aha! There's the reason. Yeah, we're going to have to upgrade her so that she can make the things. Let's look again at the crafting and see what we can take away for right now. Let us disable this. Let's disable that because we can get that from a crusher or from a, but that's interesting to know if you don't have a crusher yet, because I think you can get the Fletcher before you get the crusher and they can give you a flint, and that's very interesting. Okay, let's see now if it will let me do this. Can I get it right quick? Can I get it? No. All right, I made a mistake. I jumped the gun. No. Okay, that does it. Oak. I don't want to play this game. Oak. You'll be back in 2 minutes? Okay. Oak. And let's teach the recipe again. Inventory, teach recipe, teach. And all we need now is string, and there it is, and then we can put this here, and still no. Oh, I'd have to remove it? I think I would have to remove it. Yeah, I have to remove it. Okay, teach recipe. Here we go. No, wait for it. There it is. And put this here, and okay, it's not going to count it. All right, well then it doesn't matter. I think what's happening is it keeps bringing it back. Yes, it does. Okay, there are some that you can't really remove or disable, and so we'll have to have the Kawabata make it. And it didn't say that she could, did it? It says only the Fletcher can do it, right? Let's look and see. Let's come to here, teach recipe. And yes, only the Fletcher can make it. So, we have a problem, Houston. We're going to have to import it until the Fletcher can make it. I'm going to go to sleep. This is nice and comfortable on this grass. It's not raining. It's a little overhang there, and I will do that. There we go. All right. Yes, I know I can. I can make it. And in survival, that's what most people will do. But we're going to wait for a moment, because based on that, I think we're actually going to have to update her before we build the dye shop. We're going to have her update. Let's look and see what Elise needs, because she's standing in her shop, and we'll see what she needs. she needs brick shingles. So let's do one thing. Let's go over to our person here, and we'll come back here and we'll look right here, and let's do brick shingles. So brick shingles are brick extra flat shingles and brick extra shingles. So, and that is what is on that. That's spruce plank on those. So framed stone bricks and stone. So let's get these done, the brick extras. So let's come here and let's look. And that is stone bricks and brick extra. So let's come down and let's do custom recipe, teach, and let's do brick extra. There it is, brick extra. And there we've got that, and stone brick. S-T-O-N-E-B-R-I-C-K. Stone bricks, and that should give us framed stone and brick extra and brick extra flat and brick extra extra extra, and there we have it, teach. So we just taught that recipe, and let's look here and make sure it's there. It is. Now let's teach her how to make a brick extra, because I think that's the problem right there. So teach brick extra. She might know how. Let's find out. E-X-T-R-A, and we just need the plain brick extra. Sure she does. I know that I've done this already, but let's see where it is. So now it is down there. It was always there. So it was there already. And there she is. So she can make all of that. Did you hear that? That sounded like the cauldron being made. And look at Jail Cat. Jail Cat is actually working on the stone that we need. She was putting stone into the oven, and we heard the blacksmith. We heard True just a minute ago, and then Isa is our smelter, our ore smelter. So Isa is there right now, waiting for some ores to come in. And yeah, we've got a visitor who is tracking all over the place, but at least he hasn't lost them. He has his creatures. All right, and so let's look at Dondanas for a minute. Let's look at everybody for just a second. And let's see what we've got.
I am working on.
I got the diorite panels, grindstone. I didn't recall seeing it actually. So let's come here for a minute. Let's go on this pile. It is not here. Teach grindstone. So I have two towns, and sometimes I think I have taught something when in fact I taught it in the other town. And this is the carpenter, and so we don't have to worry about that. What do you want? He's trying to get my attention. Okay, so now he's going out that way. And so we'll go back to her in a minute. I just want to see framed stone bricks, which is spruce planks and stone bricks. I did not do that. Hold on a second. I know there's some bumps in the road there. Framed stone bricks. Let's do this. Ready? custom recipes, teach. Let me see what it looks like. Spruce planks and stone bricks. So let's do this. Let's custom recipe, teach recipe, stone bricks. Stone bricks and spruce plants. You will always have this issue, and when you played the underwater, you remembered the last map of the city instead of the new one. Mixasa is talking to a lot of people because now he has a bunch of people who are playing his game, and this is Spruce Plank here. Planks, A-N-K-S, and Spruce Planks, and let's put that there, and let's see if that gives me the right one. Nope, doesn't. So let's switch it. Spruce Planks, and Planks, P-L-A-N-K-S. Let's select, and you remembered the last map of the city. Ah, I know what you're talking about. Yes, and that's what happens every once in a while. Yes, and then brick, stone brick, bricks. I thought for a minute you weren't talking to me, but then I just realized you're talking about the fact that every time I come over here, I forget that that piece is there. This piece right here mixed up the recipe lists between your cities. Oh yeah, you have that issue too. Yes, and that's what happens. So I thought I had done some of those, and I haven't. That's what Mixasa is talking about, and you're absolutely right. And I do, and it does, and it happens. Okay, Kawabata, I don't know. So I'm just going to go over and make sure that she knows how to do a grindstone. That's what Mixasa is talking about when you have two cities at a time, and that's it. And let me come to these recipes. I'm looking for grindstone, and look at that. That is just so wild. Okay, let's get a grindstone here, and I should have wood on me, and I made it go away, didn't I? I did. Let's see. I did. Let's get some oak. Let's get 2 pieces of oak here, and let's do that. Yes. Yeah. Okay, and let's come teach, and the grindstone. Nope. I need to get the sticks right at least. So I have a stone slab, and there we go, and there it is. So yeah, so that's the reason why I have to keep checking, because of like Mixasa said, because I have 2 cities, and sometimes I think I've done that and then I haven't. All right, so I'll get into the habit of doing this right from the beginning, so that we have the hour and a half that I'm on, if this continues like this, to make sure that the research is done. But I need to see if we can make a mechanic shop and what it takes for a second. So we're going to come right here and look at this. I know I looked at it before, and that's what I'm going to check on right now and see. Research, technology, and let's come all the way down to the bottom, because it's a part of this, and the mechanic shop is unlocked. That's what I needed, so we can start thinking about a mechanic shop. let me look at recipes. So the cheat sheet, the additional recipes that they can learn, that's what we need right now. And we've got some paper finally. Yay! And so we're going to take this paper and get that. Because that way, even though Alamar doesn't have any room, this will allow her to make more. Now, I think it's going to take a while. It's going to take about an hour, 2 hours, maybe. But in the future, that's going to help us. It is 2 hours. So that'll be ready for the next time. I don't want to do anything more. The only other thing would be a library. We already have what we need to get the dyer, so that is unlocked. And we let me think about that. Right now we're supposed to be doing crop rotation. Do we have any sugar or cactus for crop rotation? Let me check and see. We have cactus and we have sugar. Yay! We do. So let's come here and let's go to technology. Let's come up here. Let's go to crop rotation. This will allow us to have a sugar field, and I think that takes an hour. And so I should have done it from the beginning, but I will get into the habit of doing, 2 hours. So I'll get into the habit of doing that when I first start, so that those kinds of things can be done right away. While we're doing other stuff, because I've been on for an hour. And first aid, because we want to get to vaccines and masks. And so we need first aid, which is hay bales. And one of them's unlocked already. And we just need the hay bales in order to do it. And let's come down here, and we need a cake to make people happier. Welcome back. And higher learning, there it is. We need a, it doesn't say that we need, look at that. Oh, residence. I was thinking we needed a library, but it's just a residence for that. We have that. So we just need 3 books. We need 3 books, a cake, and 8. Let's see what we've got here. We have no books. And let's look down here. And we have nothing here that we can use for that. Is that actually true? That is. We would need books, a cake, and hay bales. And we don't have any of those things. So I see something. See these diamonds here? Let me look at something. Oh, and the glass. Let's look for a glass house. And hi, Zaf. Yasu. And let's go here. Let's go to technology. I believe a glass house is way down here. There it is. Those lungs. Smeltery. Level 3, which we have, and 64 glass. Dun 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 dun. Uh-oh. I made a boo-boo. Nah, I'll have to do the other later. I was going to strengthen their materials, but we'll have to do that later when we get books and things like that. Okay, so Ilberic has a bunch of stuff that he is working on. And there we are, 15 minutes. We have 15 minutes left to this one, to Prásino's, and sure enough, I ran away with the diamonds. Well, Barrick would go, what happened to the diamonds that were endeared? What did you do with them? Yes, I'm sorry. I had them in my hand, and I went away. Let's turn back into a mermaid, and where can I go? I can't go anywhere. I just will go back to the tavern, to my room. Have you ever seen that movie? Oh, you don't like clowns, so you wouldn't watch a movie with clowns. But you watched it, though, didn't you? You watched it. Is that what you did? Because it's a horror movie and you like horror movies. And let's come here. And we're going to go up and over for a second. I want to see if we can see some progress on the pod. And I had said to Zaf at the beginning that I was actually going to see. What do you think, Zaf? Do you think Adam would be happy fishing over here? And I wanted to look at a fishery. I don't know how it's going to work. So I'm going to touch here. Oh wait, touch. Let's switch. Let's look at cliffs first. S. And let's go to husbandry. And let's go to the fisher hut. And let's pull out. I want to see where it is and what it looks like. And so we're going to have to pull completely out for a minute and see if I can fit it in this area. So there's where we are. And here is a fishery. And it looks like the fishery, look at this. Whoa. We have farm fishing. This is an underwater pool that is being used. Isn't that what we have right here? An underwater pool? Ooh. Ooh. Let's see what happens here. Let's look at the level 5 because we have to see how much there is to this. So let's raise this up for a second. So see all that bottom part? So that's why we have to look and see what we're talking about. Let's look at the level 5 and wow. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Wow. So let's see. And Miksasa might be nearby. Let's see if we can put this in this part of the hill here, where we have this water that's right down here, right here like this. Let me see what happens if we bring this all the way over here and put it in here. So let me look at where it's showing the mountain to be. We don't want to get rid of the trees, and that isn't going to work. I see that the walkway, let's find the walkway. Nope, I don't have it turned properly. Let's bring it this way, and let's put it on 1, because Miksasa is saying that on 1 we can see these hard pieces, the dark ones, the dark placeholders, and that makes it easier to find out. There's the walkway right there. So if we were going to put it here, it would have to be at least up to like here. Let's look and see how far down. If the walkway was on the water, that's what it would be like. That would be curious. And then what we would be doing, see it goes up in that part right there? It would be over like this, because we want it in that area right there. So it's below. And how would they get up? We would have to have some way for them to get up to the rest of every place. We would. And let's see what it does to the surface. All right, so that surface would remain. That part of the surface would remain. It is not in conflict with the boat. It looks. Wow, is the boat in conflict with the? Is the boat actually in conflict? Uh-oh, have I made a mistake? It looks like the boat might be over too far. This is the boat here. I must have looked at that. I must have looked at that and saw that it was okay. Here, if we put this here, then where this door opens up is where that area is, and that would be where the water actually is, back there. And it would be here like this. And we would just have this as a place where the boats would be. And they would, of course, be in here. And let me see, do I have a shovel? I do. Let's take this down for a minute. I want to see if I can see where it goes to. And let's do the level 5 for a minute. And that shows it being over here more. That's sort of like the wall there, and it goes back in this spot. Wouldn't that be interesting if Adam was over here fishing in the lake? What do you think, Zaf? Do you think he would like it? And look what we've got right there. There's an actual balloon. It is just barely out of the way of her balloon. There's a balloon right here. We would almost have to move it over a little tiny bit, just so that she's not under the balloon. The two balloons aren't under each other, and it would look like that. So there's going to be layers of balloons. But what would that be like? I really kind of like the idea of this. This isn't going to change. So Zaf, what do you think about Adam having a place? It will be, won't it? I think you are correct. I think it will be. I think it will. And we can do something here, either cut it off here or add something on the inside at this level and see inside some kind of way and see what we want to do. This is the bottom of that. That's the bottom of that so far. We'll see. I kind of really like this. I actually like this. So the fishing hut is right here, so it's not buried. And let us assign a builder, and there it is. Now, let me look at it again. And the reason I do is I want to see how far down she thinks she has to go for a moment. Let's come here and let's look at it again. Husbandry. Because I get very excited about that kind of stuff. It looks so beautiful. See? Because this is the inside. And when you go 2, 3, 4, 5. Isn't that gorgeous? And look, you can see a little bit there. It comes out the way that cave comes out. So it really, now if it was in the air, there would be a waterfall there, which would be nice because that means that you could put this on a waterfall. Wow. 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 We have a waterfall. Ooh. We could put it where the waterfall is and replace the waterfall with it. But I think I like it on the lake, don't you? I think I do. So what I wanted to see was this. See these right here? These are underwater. And I don't think that's going to be a problem unless she gets stuck under one of these platforms. And that would be a problem. And so I would have to figure that out for a minute. Let's look at the 1 first and see. The 1 isn't going to have those pieces. And let's go here. So there's the problem. The problem is that even though it looks really nice, there's stuff hanging off of the bottom of this. And if she goes down to work on those things, is she going to get stuck underneath and drown? And so that is something we're going to have to look at when she starts working on it. We'll have to stay close and see what happens with that. Because that is actually beautiful. And so there's a balloon. Did you see that, Zaf? That there's actually a balloon for that. Let me come down here. I'm going into the water right here where we were. Ooh, hard. This is dirt right here. We can go to sleep right here. And it's morning. And look at this area under here. Look at how beautiful this is. This is taiga. And yeah, this is, if you're over here, you can see that it actually is taiga. And this is where we got our first spruce trees from over here. And that will be good. Yes, the blue balloon. That will be gorgeous. So we'll have her work on this next. How's she going to get to it? Easy. She's going to walk here. She's going to walk up here. And then she's going to cross down. And she'll cross. Whoop. Okay. Is there a way? No, she'll probably have to walk all the way up to here and take this way down. And then she can be over here. Okay, so there is a way for her to get here. There is water in here. Let's look and make sure that it's just a ravine for a minute. I'm going to need a lantern just for a second. L-A-N, that wasn't a lantern. L-A-N, there we are. Let's put a sea lantern down here so I can see what this looks like for a second. And there it is. Let's put one here. And what I'm looking for is to make sure there's no place that she can get caught underneath, like that, right there. So I need to bring this part. We'll take this away right there. And let's look at that. Let's take that one away. So I'm just taking them away so they're straight lines. So she can't get caught underneath. This one's a problem right here. Let's see how far over I can take that. I just need for her to be able to come up and get air. And so we'll put that in right here. And let's fix that water. The fishers love to travel to collect exotic fishes. Yeah, that is nice. Let's get some water and let's fix that piece there so that she can't get trapped under here. I need this to be up at least a little bit so that she can bob to the surface and that there's no place that she can get stuck. These are here, but I don't think she's going to come down this far. So we'll watch her and we'll make sure, and we'll keep an eye out. I think we're going to have to keep an eye out and see that. Successes. There's quite a nice lake too, plus exotic fishes. Yeah. All right. So she's working on her pod, and we're going to come back to it because we are now at the halfway mark. And this is the new experiment that we are going to go over to the desert, to the other town. This is Prásino, and the other town is Rosa Ouro, which is pink gold, and that is where we're going right now. So let us make the shift. So Zaf, you've probably heard some of this history. Miksasa, you have too. I'm going to do a little bit of the history while we're looking around because just so that everyone is caught up. I know that I came in the other day and did a little tiny bit, but I want to do a little bit more. So being an ambassador to this town is a little different than the other towns. What happened was I knew Pierce because he was a river runner, a polar, and he requested a Mer ambassador to help with the town when he decided to stop being a river runner and to start that he wanted to settle in this town. This is a river runner. These ships run the rivers, and it's nighttime. I'm going to go in and sleep. And hold on. We've had river runners before. We had them at Emney Island, and this is one of the ones. That continent is far, far away, and these river runners run these rivers that are on both sides of this area right here, this peninsula. Now, we're not going to go too far over in that direction. There actually is a volcano, and you'll see the land start to blacken. There's the volcano over there, and we're not going over to it. When I go over to it, there's so much lava that it actually wants to break the system. So it's not so bad right now, but I think you might remember when I was in Prásino coming to a volcano and that happening. So we don't have to go over there. This is the town of Rosa Ouro right here. And when Pierce was a river runner. He passed by here and he saw these poppy fields and he said, this is insane that there's nobody here harvesting these poppies. And so he got it in his head that he was going to make sure, hold on a second. He was going to make sure that there was no one here because he saw some mining, evidence of mining. So he had a river runner drop him off here and he actually explored and he found actually an abandoned mine right back in this hill, in this mountain here, King Mountain. And he went back and he did, when he went into the mine, he actually saw gold still in the mine and he saw that it was abandoned. So when the river runner came and picked him up, after he had been here for a couple days, he went back to his hometown. His best friend Pierce was there, and his best friend, he talked to him and he said to him, I'm coming. I'm going to start all over again. I've saved up all my pay from being a river runner, and I am going to start a town. And you can start new. You can be the only builder here. Oh, well, I'll help you. I mean, I'll use my builder skills and I'll help you in the beginning, and then we'll get other builders to join you, but you'll be the first. So this will be like your town. And Pierce was gung-ho right away. Keanu, his friend, was gung-ho right away, but he didn't know why he was gung-ho right away, and he wasn't going to find out for a long time. So when Pierce arrived here, he arrived with Keanu and with Fright Swidey and with Isabella, and they arrived in wagons. And almost all the wagons are gone now. The library still has a wagon. We still have some yurts in this area of town, and there's still a wagon that Omar, one of the builders, is using right now in this area. That's one of the last of the wagons. The living wagons, yeah, because I think all the others have been turned into yurts. So they arrived and they started working, and we had lots of hold on. They had lots of wagons come through, and when they did, they started getting more people. So the people that they got were builders and crafters, and we're going to look. And this was one of the first things that was built. This is the tavern, and I think I've explained about this tavern before because it is similar to the tavern in Prásino. This is a double tavern. One side of the tavern is a restaurant, and I have a living quarters here the way I do in Prásino's in the tavern, in this saloon. This is actually a saloon. And then down here is the kitchen and the dining area. Now, I didn't put the dining in the back room the way I did in Prásino's. The dining, the kitchen in Prásino's is down in here. But we didn't do that with this one. We actually put a kitchen on the back. And there's the door to it. Now, I haven't done anything in this kitchen, but we're working. We have a lot of stuff to do, and this is one of the things that we have to work on. Oh, and there's Ember. Sorry, Ember. And you like the tower? Which tower did you see? Let's see which tower. So, this is the saloon right here, And this is the hotel part of the saloon, right here, the one that actually works. And then they started building. This bank building was originally the first town hall. And across from this bank building, we actually had a tent, a restaurant tent right here. And this bank building is now no longer the town hall. The town hall is going to be up in the hills. But this is the bank right here. One of the couriers, Rory, she has her courier here inside the bank, and up here we will actually put safety, what do they call it? Like a safe or something up here for where people are going to store their valuables. That's going to be there. And this is where they come in and talk to the teller right here. And there is Eloy Maya.
This is not
And-
what was promised to me. This housing stinks.
Eloy, you're a druid. You don't get housing, but you're right. You actually do not have the type of housing that has a bed. So I think I'm going to have to do something about it. So this is a level 5 Dark Dust Tower, Town Hall. And that is it. The black near the river. Oh, this one. Oh, this one. Do you mean this one out here? This one? You might be talking about this one. This is a frontier guard tower, and this is Louise. Louise came into town. Hold on. Louise came into town, and she originally saw Keanu when Keanu was building this guard tower over in the poppy fields. And she wasn't just a visitor, but she came over and was looking at this, and she was actually a warrior. She was on her way to a battlefield, and Pierce said, "You stay with us, you can have this. You can have this as your tower." And so she said, "Okay, I will stay." This is a Shire level 2, I believe, tower. And so this was Louise's tower, and this was her housing down here. But this is not hers anymore. This is Oba. Oba is the latest of our druids. She is the one who has recently joined. And Louise gave her the tower because Pierce said, "Look what I'm building here. You can have this tower, and I would prefer to have you over here." And she said, "I don't want to be over here unless there's a bed in this tower." And so he said, "Okay, I'll build it up to the point where there's a bed." And there it is. There's her bed. This is a level 4 frontier tower, and she loves it. She has a beautiful view of the farms. She has a view of the bay, and she has a view of the river. So she can even see the river runner from here and the other tower. And so she said, "Fine, I'm happy to be here and be in here." Now it's very dark, so I'm going to go to sleep on her couch. Uh-oh, it's a half slab, so I'm having a restless night. Okay, so this is what it looks like in the daytime. This is a frontier guard tower, level 4, and so this is Nubian, I think. I can look for a minute and see who this is. Let's look at the frontier. FR, and there it is. It is Mubian. So this is Mubian's design for a guard tower. Mr. Villager, welcome back. Welcome back. And so this is this is where Louise is. Louise is number 2. She is actually she is first archer. Hold on. But Jackson is actually first guardian. So the very first guardian to come here, Jackson, he was put close to the bank, and so he had a guard tower right here, and this was his guard tower. This is empty right now. The guard tower is gone from here because we wanted to move him. Since so much was going on in this area, we moved him over here. This is a mesa level 2. I think this is a level 2 or level 1. It's actually a level 1. Wow. This is a level 1 guard tower for, and this was built specifically for Jackson. And it was built so that he could see this end of the peninsula. So he can see the other guard tower is right over there. He can see it. You can see it just beyond the farmhouse. And he can see down the waterway towards the volcano. And then he can see, this is the wide river. And he can see down the wide river as opposed to the narrows. Hold on. Yeah, my throat's going to bother me, I think, a little bit. I'm pressing. I'm pushing a little bit too much. So Jackson had a tendency to want to get a cold a lot. He was sick a lot. And so this guard tower actually helped him not be sick, and he loves it. And hold on for a second. You're right, Saf. I'm going to take about a minute. I need to go and do something about my throat. So I am just going to change for just a second here. Hold on. I will be right back. God damn it. I just haven't had enough water.
That's the thing. That is the thing.
But it wasn't soup. Okay. I know, I didn't turn off the mic. Sorry about that. I'm back, and I'm going to come back here. Yeah, I didn't turn off the mic because I was upset. Okay, I got something for my throat and it'll be better. So I apologize, and I apologize if you could hear me cursing in the background, because I definitely was. Let's see here. I apologize, Mr. Villager. And let's come here. So we were talking about, speaking of getting, I'm not sick. It's I'm stressing, and when I stress, it's in my throat. So if I was a smoker or something like that, I would probably have throat cancer, or I'd be one of the ones who had throat cancer, because that's where all my stress is in my throat. And I've been told that by acting teachers. I've been told that by yoga people and stuff. So I have to be careful about that and stuff. So Jackson is first guardian. Now, Fright Swidey, who came, she started out in the beginning as the forester that she actually got Pierce, got Pierce to bring her, because she got Keanu to sort of convince Pierce that her skills as a forester were good enough, and they were good enough for the beginning. And so this is where she started the farm, the tree farm, and this tree farm is still enough right now. We will probably put another tree farm, another forester up here, because this is the oak grove up here, and this oak grove actually is big enough that we could have another forester up on top, and we will probably do that. Who got the reference? Fright Swidey. So when she said that she was coming to join this community, her friend Isabella wanted to come too, and Pierce decided that it was fine. He would, since they actually wanted to come with him. That's what Keanu said. Look, they want to come with you. You don't have to convince them. And so he said fine. Isabella came, and in the beginning, she was actually doing construction, helping with construction. And then her son arrived because we did not put into place children off, and when her son arrived, we realized that the children band was not on. There was no question that it was her, because she stopped working and was staying in the tent, in the yurt, by herself, and then this son arrived. So then we found out, everyone found out, Friday knew, Fright Swidey, some people call her Friday. Fry knew about it, that that Isabella was wanted and was going to have a child. And so that child is grown up long time ago. That child is Omar. And Omar, when he first grew up, he thought he was going to be a guardian because he liked Jackson, and he thought that he was going to be a guardian, and so he started doing that. And then he didn't really like it. And so he thought maybe he would be in the restaurant business. And so he was doing that for a little bit. And his mother was like, why? You don't like any of these things. You're unhappy. And so he said, what I really want to do is be a builder. So she said, why don't you go to Pierce and tell him I'm not building anymore. I'm guarantee you he will let you be a builder. And so he did. And so Omar had a wagon right where this this horticultural greenhouse is. Omar had a wagon there for the longest time, and then he built his own. This is his own builder shop right here at the foot of the mountain. And he built the builder shop there before he knew about Keanu's dream that nobody knew about. And let's see, cliffs have fissures. Cliffs have fissures? Yes. No, it's not. It's not. I know what you're saying, but in Minecolonies, any style that they have has to have somebody. So, you know, even the dark oak and the jungle have fissures, and especially dark oak, and the desert has fissures. So they all have a way of being able to fish, even though they may not be near water. So if these mountains were away from the water, there would still be water inside the mountains, and they could take advantage of that and create places for fishing. That's what I would say as a storyline for the fact that there are fisheries in these other places that aren't near water, these other styles that aren't near water. Let me go to sleep. So since Omar became a builder and Isabella took his place running the restaurant in the tent, and then when just recently the restaurant was finally made permanent by having a building put in as we start to get rid of the tents, although Isabella and Rosa, one of the couriers, still live. They share this yurt right here. They still live in a yurt. And the nether style has a fissure too. Yeah, it actually does. And well, think about this. Think about this, Mr. Villager, that what they have is, what they're doing is farm fishing in the nether. So they bring in a water tank, and the water tank, they grow fish the same way we do. We grow fish on this planet, Earth, and those fish are the fish that they catch and sell, is the fish that they grow. And so that is essentially what happens with it. That's what the nether is doing, and that's what would happen in some of these other places. I see that is Balashildis, and let's go in here for a minute, because I don't know whether Mixessa actually ever saw this or not, but Trenton came to town, and Pierce knew there was gold underground. He didn't want to be a miner. He was intent upon finding someone to partner with and having that partner actually make a huge mine. And so Trenton said, no, it would be better if there was more than one miner. This is too big a place. And so Trenton, when they came to town, asked Balachildis to join first and be partners with him and Pierce in the gold mine. This is Bally right here. They call her Bally. And Bali is a level 1. This is a Littleton mine, level 1. It's not going to get any bigger because this had to be modified in order to put it here, because I wanted it to be this building. And I wanted them to build it. And if I had thought about it, I might have been able to get them to build it. Nah. I didn't have enough skill at the time, and so this was one of the experimental ones at the time when I was experimenting with modding some of the buildings. One of the other buildings we modded was an underwater base mine because I loved it so much. I loved this mine. And so we wanted to have this mine here, but it was made out of concrete, and we don't have any. We have tons of sand, but we didn't have any way of getting that kind of concrete. So what we did was we changed the blueprint to call for terracotta. So this is made out of terracotta, this entire building, and we changed the wood for spruce plank. Yeah, when the building a mine at the Capitol. Yes, and so this is, yes, that's where it came from. That's where the terracotta came from when we were building at the other in Prasinos. That's why it had the terracotta, because it was the same kind of mine as this. But what we did in Prasinos was we decided to put it in a place where we were going to have them build it up to a level 5, and so we didn't have the problem that we have here. This will always be a level 1 mine. I don't mind that. And this one, I made a mistake on the number, I think. This says that it's a level 3. Mixasa can see it's a level 5 of this building. But I made a mistake. Who knows why? But Trenton is working a level 3 mine, and then this mine here, this is a, who is this? It's an archaeology mine, and believe it or not, the archaeology mine is one of the bigger buildings that archaeology has. It's a big building for archaeology, and this mine is right now at a level 2, but this is the mine that can be built up to the level 5. And the only reason I haven't is because it's going to change all of this into stone, and then I'll have to change it all back, and I'll do that at a later date. But so this is Merifled right here. We have a level 2 druid right here. This is Eloi Maya. Eloi Maya is, I think, one of the 3rd or 4th of our druids. We have a few druids here. Adamanta was the first druid, and she was, oh yay, a cheat sheet is done. They can get more recipes. Adamanta absolutely wanted this guard tower right here. Now when she came and did, this is a perfect example. Look at this, Mr. Villager. This is water in the mountain. So if I wanted, I could put a fishery here and justify the fishery being here by the fact that there's water in the mountain, and that's where the water is coming from, and it would be really cool. When Adamanta has been here before any of these buildings were here. She was up in these hills by herself, a little indigenous woman, up in these desert hills. She was raised in the desert. She loves the desert, and she loves being up there. Now, when people started getting close, she was fine with it because they weren't going to affect her little area here, her cave or her water. And she actually enjoys having Keanu be up here in this building tower right here, right now. She's enjoying it, and I believe that that is Adamanta right there. She comes up and visits him a lot, and she loves this view. So she comes up here a lot. Now, the guard tower closer to the little cave gives an abandoned vibe. And that's what I was saying when I was talking about the fact that what I need to do for a couple of these druids, they like being really, what do you call it? Stoic? No, stoic is, I gotta think of the Greek name for it, where you like hardship. And so she likes it. The others don't. And so I need to see about that. Like it was already there before I settled here, like it's some kind of ruin. Doesn't it look like that? It actually does. And like she found it. Like this is what she found and why she wanted to be here. And it works really well. And that's a great story, Mr. Villager. Thank you. I love that. And so these steps were put in when Omar built this building right here. This is a Lost Mesa builder's shop. And he built it because he wanted to do the work in this area. And so he built himself a home. It was an experiment. Pierce wanted to know about building, can we build on stilts so that we don't have anyone sitting on the poppies? And it worked. Look how little ground was taken away. This is amazing for one of these houses, that it took away so little ground. But this is a new thing that's happened, part of the upgrade of these buildings, and this should be a level 4. Omar was living here, but he has Rory living here right now because he wanted to use Rory's wagon. Rory was actually living down here, and the reason Omar wanted to live here instead of living up on the cliff was because he was making all these buildings. And let's the sun is going down. We could come here. This would be okay. Let's go in here. This is the library wagon. As soon as everybody, look at the moon, pretty. So everyone's going home. I'm seeing some people still going home, although that was Louise, and she's not going home. And there, oh my gosh, that just looks so gorgeous. So I don't have the word yet. I still have some people who are walking around trying to get home, but I think I'm going to go to sleep right here in the bookstore wagon. So Fry came in and she was working here, and there was a wagon. She came with the wagons. She had a wagon and a platform here for the longest time. And then Santana was visiting. He was a visitor, and he became fascinated with the idea of growing trees in this lush desert. And he said he gave her some pointers about the trees that she was growing. And so she went to Pierce and said to Pierce, you should ask him to stay. And so Pierce did, offered him a bounty to stay, and he did, and he's been here ever since. Now, Rory just built this right here, and You just think these jungle tree houses are too big for these trees. I would do it better. Yeah. Uh, uh, well, in actuality, they've made a big difference in these so that before it took all the ground away underneath, and now it just takes, you can just set this in a tree, in a jungle tree, or more than one jungle tree. And it's really, really, really beautiful. It's one of my favorites. Um, when Santana came, there was a little wagon and a little living wagon here that belonged to Daisy, and Daisy had come in because even when Fry was doing this, was having trees here, she was getting beehives. Fry was getting beehives, and so Daisy came in to manage the bees that wanted to come to the poppy fields and to come to those trees there. And so just recently, this house was built, her yurt, which she began to share with Santana, because Santana and Daisy worked together a lot. They liked each other's company, and so they decided to share this house together. And this is a recent build. This is a Littleton house, and they don't have their furniture yet. They do have their bed, but that's all they have so far. And they have some things downstairs. What they got their lawn chairs before they got their furniture for their house. They're like, we have to have these lawn chairs right now. And then her bee shop, this porch used to actually be her bee shop platform in Frontier. And it just worked out that when he took down the bee section, that this was left. And it was so neat that we just decided to keep it as the porch. And then we have one of these at Prásino's, and exactly. And so there's Daisy. Daisy actually has a level 1. Yes, she has a level 1 apiary. So she only has the one set of bees hives right now, but we'll get her some more after some other buildings go in. So Santana needed to have a place where he was actually better able to deal with his trees, and this was just built, so this part hasn't been fixed yet. This was just built, and then Omar actually just built this. This is a level 3 flower florist, and the reason we built this here is because they're going to plant all sorts of flowers that don't grow here. Poppies grow here, and roses, and we don't want a lot of foreign flowers to start growing in the fields. So we decided to actually put in a greenhouse so that the flowers would be grown in the greenhouse. This is the first of 2. So this is the industrial. This flower person will actually take care of some of the poppies, along with the plantation owner who is down here. We don't have one yet. We have to get a plantation person. And so that is this area here. And And this is the plantation. This is actually one of the few Shire buildings that's really pretty much out of the ground, more than some, and so it's going to work really well for this. So the border is way out here, and a couple, is that Oba? The Druids like to swim. They like to swim out to the border, and it's almost like they just like being alone out here. Like they come out here to do like Druid stuff, like and so they come out, they spend some time out here, and then they swim back. In the beginning, I was worried, but they only do it in the area where they can actually swim this river. And we did see one of the Druids out here, and that's what I was concerned about, because we have an anomaly. We have a meteor strike right here. That, yes, well, yeah, that's what they are. We had a meteor strike here, and this meteor has disrupted the water in this area. When the river runners come around here to this area, they actually have to be really careful. And the polers, P-O-L-E-R-S, the guys with the poles that keep the river runners from running into the sides of the river, they keep them straight on these rivers. They have to be really careful in this area here, because this can cause a river runner to capsize. And that has been here since we got here. It is the meteor strike. So we got this place, the Shrine of Druidism. It's interesting. Look at this place where they're coming over to. It really looks like something's here, doesn't it? Look, especially with this little piece of water right here, and the way the trees are, and the way that has been cleared away there. So I wouldn't be surprised if there is some, what do they call it? They have a name for it, what they call meridians. I think it's meridians is what they call them on Earth, where there are these places where the way it feels in those places is magical. And that's one of those. Let's look here. What time is it? It's only 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's raining. This is such a nice view on this balcony. Now, there used to be a yurt next door, but next door now is Pierce and his partner, Ember. So Ember came to town with her friend Julie, and Ember and Pierce actually was in love with both of them. The minute they came into town, he loved them, and he wanted them to stay, and Julie was, it's not really what we had in mind.
You say so.
Ember changed her mind about the trip that they were on when she saw this place, and she said to Pierce, I will stay. He wanted her to stay as a barmaid, to join Fry, because at one point Fry, when Santana took over the forestry, Fry thought that was her chance to get close to Pierce again, and so she asked if she could be a barmaid, and that was her mistake. Ember asked if she could be partner, and he was head over heels at that time, and he said yeah. And so Fry, when that happened, Fry said to Pierce, You don't have anybody working, doing any research. I'd like to go do that. And Pierce was like, but what, you're my barmaid. And she was like, you don't need me. You've got Ember. And so he was like, okay, clueless. Okay, I guess you can go over. So Fry came and she started researching in this university. When Fallon joined, Fallon was a better researcher than Fry. Fry was just doing it to be on the other side of the world from Pierce, picking someone else other than her as a partner. And so she came over here. When Fallon came, she was a better researcher. So Fry decided, you know what, I'm just going to have a bookstore. That's what I'm going to have. That sounds like a good idea. And I want to have it next to the bank. And so that's what she decided. And so a bookstore wagon came into town, and Pierce actually purchased it from the from the person who it belonged to, specifically for Fry, because Keanu explained to Pierce that Fry had been in love with Pierce, and look what he did. He broke her heart, la la la. And Pierce isn't a bad person. He didn't know. So he did this as a gift to Fry, and they're friends now, you know, Fry and Pierce. They're just friends. But Ember was determined to stay in town, and when she said she was staying, her friend Julie, who had been traveling with her, was like, well, what am I going to do? And Ember said, why don't you just stay? It's a big town. Things are going to happen. Who knows? Maybe they'll need, you know, what you can do someday. And Julie was like, okay, fine, I'll stay. So she stayed, and for a long time, she just hung out in the saloon, and you know, was with Ember and having fun, and that's all she did. And then the carpentry shop went in, and when the carpentry shop went in, she was like, wait a minute, a carpentry shop? I want to do that. And it was like, wait, you have skills as a carpenter? Why didn't you say so all this time? Keanu was like a little tiny bit miffed because the builders had been doing all the carpentry, and she was like, I could have done it. Nobody even asked me. Nobody bothered to check. Look at her skills. She has a 30. That's how good a carpenter she is. She's a 30. So she actually started doing the carpentry, and everyone is really happy about that. So that was her. And then things began to move really fast after that time. So we started getting a lot more people. Pierce wanted to get someone, because we had so many wagons, and the wagons needed wool to be refurbished because they were living in them for such a long time, that Pierce wanted to get a shepherd to come, and he was saying that this shepherd could use the poppy fields, that it would be good for the poppies, and that would be fine. And to entice the shepherd to stay, he built this house for the shepherd. And this is the shepherd's, here the shepherd, Keela. Keela is here, and there's Keela. Keela has all of her, this is her barn for the fact that she's a shepherd right in there. And then this house was built for her. However, when the house was built for her, Ember looked at the house, and this was the very first house ever built. And Ember said to Pierce, "You're the mayor. Why are you giving the first house to somebody who hasn't been here a second?" And she convinced Pierce that they should live in the house. And Pierce was like, "Okay, well, I haven't given it to her yet. I haven't found the shepherd yet. I'll just tell the shepherd that they can use the barn in our house and they can live right here." And so when Keela first came here, that's what happened. I'm sure that someone told her later that originally that house was supposed to be for her, but she didn't care. She was staying here in this little yurt, and it was nice and cozy, and she actually liked it in there. But then, surprise, surprise, Ember didn't like it. Ember was fine with the house. She did not like the commute. She didn't like coming through these fields every day to walk over to the saloon to work. And she just didn't like it. It was hot, it was hot, it was difficult, and she didn't care. And Pierce said, "Well, fine, I'm building apartments. We can move into the apartments for a little bit until we start building more houses." And she was like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to live in an apartment. So this is the love of Pierce's life. So he is sort of, trying to do stuff. So when Ainsley finished building the apartment building, this is only level 4. It needs one more level to be complete. Pierce had her start a house for him and Ember. And there was a level 2 yurt sitting here. And so since there was a level 2 yurt that they were in, when he built this house, when he had Ainsley build the house, it was a level 3. It got upgraded to a level 3. And so they live here. This is their upstairs right now. This is only a level 3. It'll probably be a level 5 by the time the town grows a little bit more. But for right now, this is their house, and this is her commute now. She goes down here, and she's even complaining about this. We're going to have to put in some stairs there for her. And let's see. We should call this place. Oh yeah, no, I knew what you meant when you said that, Mr. Villager. I did know. And so here we are. So Ainsley was working on those 2 houses, but Lindsay is actually the person who came into town with some serious skills for doing that kind of work, and she took over Keanu's old place. Keanu used to be here, and now Ainsley is here. Ainsley, are you building something? Yes, she is. She's building a mechanic's hut. Why? Because about, let's say 6 months ago their time, Keanu came to the saloon to talk to Pierce, and he said, yes, it's hot, it's the desert. He said to Pierce, the real reason that I came with you was King Mountain. When you talked about the mountain, I wanted to do something that I haven't done in a long time. I wanted to build on a mountaintop. And Pierce said, why didn't you say that in the beginning? We could have built on top of the mountain. And he was saying, no, it was too much trouble in the beginning, and you had your heart set on these poppy fields, etc., etc. And he said, but I want to show you my balloon now. And he goes, what do you mean your balloon? Yes, it's the desert. So he said, I'm going to put my balloon down here and I'm going to fill it with air, and then I'm going to put it up there, and you can come with me if you want. And so he took Pierce on the first balloon trip up here. He took him up in this balloon. And this is the supply ship for the Cliffs style. And it is a really nice balloon. And there is a book here. This book here actually tells you, gives you some hints on what you can do, how you can start your town, and what you need for the fact that you're using this style. Matlam and Mixasa included that book as to help players who are playing in vanilla to understand how to build on the cliffs. So Pierce saw this and he was like, this is amazing. Yeah, I don't want to be up here, but I totally understand why you do. And yes, you have my permission. And yes, it'll be wonderful to have a layer. So for a little while, Omar loaned Keanu his house right here, his shop right here, so that Keanu could climb up these mountains and build this. And this is level 5 of that house, of the builder's shop that we have at Prásino's. This is what it's going to look like when it is completely done. And Mixasa hasn't seen, but I actually did a little interior decorating because I have mods. Mixasa and Matlam do an amazing job of having these beautiful insides, which are perfect if you're in vanilla, and they're just beautiful. But I have mods, furniture mods, and so I'm using these mods to just add just a little bit more personality to make my build just a little bit different. So there was a table here, and we replaced it with this table, and Keanu has some of his books sitting on this table. Fantasy has some pieces that can go on tables again. Thank you, Fantasy. And that is the mod that has furniture that works in Minecolonies. And I'll show you the furniture piece. For vanilla, for people who are in survival, you actually can do it in survival. You'd have to build the furniture, but you can put the furniture in. And of course, that thing where if you put the tags in, they will sit in the furniture the way they sit on the stairs. Look at this, Zaf and Mr. Villager. This is the new banner that Matlam has made for the cliffs, and it is gorgeous. Do you remember the banner that they made for the underwater base, right? And now this banner is for the cliffs, and it's really, really beautiful. And because this is the desert, and yeah, so when he built this, he also started working on a house for himself. And in the beginning, he only had just the tower. This tower here was the beginning of his house. This is now level 2, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go up for a minute. So when he first moved in, this is what it looked like, only this was a window, not a balcony. Look at the view that he has. Isn't this gorgeous? You know, Adamanta spends a lot of time up here. I think that she has a crush on Keanu. probably because he likes being up here too. And she is up here a lot more than the others. And not just because of where her guard tower is. She's really coming up here a lot. So Keanu used to sleep up there, but when the level 2 was put in, he started sleeping in this little part of this house. This is the residence at level 2, and it has this beautiful little house right here. And look at the fire, which is perfect because in the same way the desert is hot in the daytime, the desert is cold at night. We're going to go into his shop and go to sleep for a minute. I'm going to come around here. We're just going to pull out a sleeping bag and sleep on the floor right here. And we'll wake up before he gets back. You're writing a guidebook for your style. Okay. Okay. So this is actually just a couple things that we put in. The lamp is from X-Lines Furniture, and one of the really wonderful lamps. We're using McCaw's Furniture for the desk, and then we're using Valhelsia's Furniture for the chair, and of course the cartography tapes at level 2. And you think that's something. That's one version of a house. So see this house here? That's level 2. This is, I believe, the outer house. We have on the other side of the city a house that's being built right now by Ainsley, because Ainsley is helping build houses. And this is a level 1 house right here. This is the house right here. And we actually were able to get this house to attach to this walkway that I haven't finished yet, but it is attached to the walkway, and they come right to here. You can see that there's going to be something here. She's in the process of building the level 2, but the level 1 of this house is up here, and it is on this level. So you see there's another walkway right here, and on this level is the house that Emery looked at. This house and she says, I want to live here. And so she is actually in this house. This is her bedroom, and this is why she said she wanted to live in this house, because this is the bedroom in her house, and she is living here in the house that she is making. So Zaf, I see that, and there it is. So this is the level 1, and she's working on the level 2. Now when we put this house in, because it has it actually has 3 walkways, and we're using these 3 walkways to sort of mark where we can have the buildings be. That's what I'm doing, Nixessa. I'm using these walkways on this building here. So the top is going to have another house, I imagine. I don't remember. I have a tendency to forget what they look like in between 1 and 5. It started with putting in that even though Pierce said that he did not want to live up in the hills, he wanted the town hall to be up in the hills. So this dark dust town hall, we took out the town hall piece, and we set the town hall piece here. So this is where the town hall will eventually be, and a new town hall is going to be built on this spot. And it's beautiful. The level 5 has a balloon platform that's part of the town hall, and it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. But since we were building here, we needed a Fletcher. And when we went to look at the Fletchers, what we discovered was that the Fletcher for the cliffs is amazing. It is amazing. You can't wait for the start to make a new village in the new server that Elias is planning. He's making a new survival server, but unfortunately it looks like he's not going to play with you anymore. Oh, I'm sorry. Aww. It's hard with servers. They take a lot of work, and it's probably makes it really difficult for him. So we decided we absolutely wanted to have the Fletcher, the Cliffs Fletcher. So we placed it here, knowing that both Lindsay and Ainsley could get up these hills. How did we know they could get up these hills? This is how we knew. See, there's Elvira, and Elvira is up these hills, and we actually found Julie one day. She was all the way up here. It's like, Julie, what are you even doing up here? But they're the ones who like it up high, and so that meant that we could put this here. And so we put this in, and then we started putting in the when we started thinking about housing for the crafters who are all along here and are still in yurts. They were very happy to hear that there was going to be housing on the cliffs for them. And so this is their housing. This is the mechanic shop. And the mechanic shop was the first one, Excessive, that I noticed, because I don't read, that I noticed had 2 platform areas. But what it is that the mechanic, this is the platform where the mechanic comes in, and then when he goes into here, there's a way for him to get upstairs into this next area right here. They're still working on this, but this hallway is how he gets there. So even though it has a walkway up here, it's really sort of private, this whole area part up here. And I thought it was a walkway, but it turns out it's not. It's actually the mechanic shop, shop up here. And it's going to be really amazing when it is completed. So this is where he is going to have a way up. And I just wanted to build this too. Now he is playing a Minecraft zombie survival one, but he said he is going to make the fixes and updates on it, because none of us wanted to have the responsibility. Yeah. Please give me style suggestions, guys. Style suggestions for a new style. No one's really done a snow style. There was some idea that the Christmas style is not a snow style, where you're actually in the snow, and it's just a Christmas village like you would have if at Christmas time. But an actual snow style would be most curious. So when we were looking for a florist, no, that wasn't when it happened. When we were looking for fields, we started thinking of we started thinking, where were we going to put the fields for the plantation? And I was like, okay, well, maybe because we decided we weren't going to have the fields be out in the open. And it was like, well, let's look at some fields. Let's look and see what we can see. And it was at that point that we discovered that the steampunk plantation is like the steampunk farm, that it is all greenhouses and it's perfect. So this is the farm, the steampunk farm, and this area has been reserved for a second plantation, which is going to be a steampunk plantation. It's going to sit right here, and it's going to have all the foreign plants in it that you can't have, that wouldn't grow in the desert, and so they're going to be in greenhouses. Let's come here. The other place that you could do is, and I had talked to Mixasa about it too, stilts, houses on stilts. Not necessarily like the tree houses in the jungle or the tree houses in dark oak, but actually on stilts, not dependent on trees, actually on stilts that you can put anywhere, like in the marshes, like the same way as the witches' houses. That's my number 2. I think that would be a really cool idea for that. And then what other one? A third one. Let me think about it. And let's go to sleep. I just came out in the night, but I think I'm going to go to sleep for a minute. This is a little different from the others. I wanted to catch you all up on the story a little bit about this area, and I still have that question that I'm going to ask, and that is, so did you like having half and half? Do you like having half of the show be about Prásino's, the Mystic Groves, and the Overlook Mountain, and the lake, and the green country, and the other half being about Rosa Ouro, the desert, the poppy fields, and the gold mines? Which did you like? If you liked getting a chance to see both of them, then the next time when I come in, I'm not going to be doing as much explaining, and you'll see much more of the building stuff that I'm going to do as far as building is concerned, because we're not doing much right now. We're doing a lot more talking, and we'll go into some of the other areas like the mine, like the fact that we had intended to put a crusher and a sifter down in the waterfront warehouse. So we have a second warehouse in the waterfront that is connected. This is a Shire warehouse. It's been modified so I could connect it to this hallway right here, and this piece right here goes right into the urban savanna warehouse, and so the two warehouses are connected by that hallway there. And this is the urban savanna level 3. Now this is a level 3 here, but the one downstairs, because it had to be modified, is a level 5. We don't have anyone in. I think Rory is taking care of that level 5 one right now by herself. When the level 3 was done, I was thinking I was going to move Rory upstairs and I didn't yet, but I think I will. I think it works better that that she be up with them. And there she is. She's been doing the waterfront, but we'll see. She had a problem when Hera was working on it, where she couldn't find her way to it because she hadn't been here, and she was used to taking the shortcut through the other warehouse. But now she's gotten used to it, and she comes and whoa. That was interesting. Did she want to swim or something? Did you see what she just did? Why are you coming that way? That is so curious. That is very strange. That was very strange. So she was picking up stuff from Davis, who is our fisher. And Davis, what's wrong with this? Did she do something when she did that? No, it's always been like that, right? Why are you in the water and not on here? Like she pushed you or something. Let's do this. Let's recall him for a minute. I know. I recalled you. I did. I want you on dry land. I don't like you. Did he just jump into the water again? No. Wow, that was a big bass. We have bass in this water. There's actually bass in this water. It's really pretty. Besides cod and besides salmon, there's actually bass in here. So, that is Davis in his shop. It's a level 3 shop so that we could get the Fletcher, and it's sitting right on top of the waterfront right here. There's some. See, it's a different fish. It's bass. Cool. That is so cool. And then let me look for a second at Maximilian.
Is there a problem?
No, there isn't a problem, Max. Dexterity, look at this. There's dexterity. And we've got it again, where we're trying to get dexterity. We're trying to get dexterity and creativity, athletics and dexterity, dexterity and agility, and we're not getting it. But we need dexterity with one of those 3 in order to have crafters that we want. So not Maximilian. We're not going to take him. And so they moved out. Pierce and Ember moved out, and they moved into their house. And Keela is here. I want to say Kaylee, but it's not. It's Keela. Keela is here. This is a steampunk farm, and these fence posts mark the actual farm. So the sheep are being like real sheep, and they're going out, and she should have a sheepdog to come and herd these sheep back in. But for now, every once in a while, I go and get them. Especially if they get too close to town, I go and get them and bring them back. And yes, you are seeing what you see. There is a portal in the poppy fields, and we're not doing anything with it right now. It's a ruin, and we'll need to decide what we're going to do with that at some point. But when we discovered that the plantation had greenhouses, then we decided that we would do greenhouses for the florist. And sure enough, the flower shop was a greenhouse in steampunk, and it works out perfectly for the fact that we're not adding any strange flora and fauna to the area. All the strange flora and fauna will be grown in here. And this is a level 3 flower shop so that we could get a dye shop. And we don't have one yet. That's one of the things that I actually need to work on to make sure that we get a dye shop put in. And the question is where and what kind. And so that's the other. You think you already have an idea? You think you're just going to need some little showcase from the Shire style? Okay, that you're going to do Shire. Shire's good. Shire is good. And so how many Shire buildings do I have here? I have, who is that? This is a visitor,
Great to
Liana.
see you.
Let me see what Liana is. There's strength and focus. Focus and creativity. I don't think I need focus for anything just yet. I'll have to look at the flower shop. Doesn't need that. The sifter, the crusher. I don't have them yet. And school teacher, I don't have any of those. Creativity and knowledge, but she doesn't have enough knowledge. If she had enough knowledge, we do need a second cook for Isabella, but she doesn't have that, so we're just going to let that go. You think you already have a style? Yay! Okie dokie. So that's kind of to catch up. When we visit some people, we'll see. For instance, we did have Sato, and they're still here. Sato and Makino live here, and they still live here. The crusher going in only meant they had to tighten up this side of the tent right here. And the crusher, this is not a crusher, this is the stone smelter, which I keep thinking of as the crusher, but there's no question this is the stone smelter and one of the people we're looking for. And this is Caledonian, I think. Why am I thinking? It's right there. This is Caledonia style. And I'm slowly but surely getting used to the idea that things have been made so much easier by the Minecolonies team that there's a bunch of things that I don't really have to do with the way that I was doing them before. And one of those things, of course, is looking at going to the hut block to look at things. I could also use the map. I could put a map in the town hall hut block, and that would do something as well. And Mr. Villager is saying in chat, you already trained a bit of terraforming, as you said in the last stream. Actually, you know how to make small plains hills and cliff bases, so it's going to be easy. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're not talking about a style, you're talking about landscape, what the landscape should look like. Is that true? You're talking about what landscape do you want to have in the new one? Huh. Am I understanding you correctly? Let's come here. I think we're going to find out in a minute. And that's it, guys. That, believe it or not, is 3 hours of visiting. So we just visited the town this time. On Monday, when I come back, we'll start working this town. as a part of this, not Monday, Tuesday. I don't stream on Monday. Tuesday, we'll start working the style. Minecolonies team streams on Twitch on Sunday and Monday. On Sunday, they start at 12, and on Monday, they start at 2. And they stream also on Wednesdays. And those are days I don't stream. And so you can watch them actually play their game, because they do. And it's very fun to watch. And let's see here. And here is of the buildings to be shown: library, university, school, Fletcher, blacksmith, smelter, shepherd. Wait, already? Yeah, already. That was an hour and a half. So 3 hours I stream normally. And so I'm streaming an hour and a half in Prásino, in the first town, and an hour and a half in this town. You don't like it? Would you rather that I didn't do that? I'm asking you. I'm asking you and Zaf specifically. That was an hour and a half. It actually was. We will talk at Tuesday, and it's Christmas week also, so have a nice day. Yes, it is. Afkaristo, Zaf. Thank you very much. Afkaristo. And I will definitely see you. There aren't any Christmas decorations in this town yet, but Vincentius Primus and I are going to look at the other mods, as well as Minecolonies has the elven hats, and that's their Christmas decoration. Minecraft will start having boxes, will turn into gifts. They've done that every year. We'll see if they continue to do it. And then we'll see what some of the other mods. In the past, some of the other mods did things special for Christmas. We'll see if some of my mods did that. And no, you weren't distracted. That's how fast it is. And that's one of the reasons why I'm thinking that I'm going to do it, because it's much faster when I do one town for an hour and a half and then do another town for an hour and a half. Toru is looking at me and saying, "Who are you talking to?" So, Mr. Villager, obrigado. Thank you for being here. And you tell me the next time, and we'll see about doing it again like that. Okay? And Mixasa, if you're still there, please give my best to Matlam. I'm still having so much fun. Oh gosh, with the cliffs. And congratulations on having such a cool style. And yeah, merci beaucoup. Merci, à bientôt. Everybody, enjoy your games and enjoy watching all the other gamers. And I will see you next time. À toi, Mixasa, à toi. And here we go. I'm going to play music. Music, I hear music. Music, I hear music. Bye.